Hi guys, it's Megan here. Happy day 15 of Lent. My video tonight is a little bit it's later than usual. Usually I film them during the day, and today has been a little bit hectic. It's been very interesting, and I think that in itself is what God is revealing to me. It is a little bit about not just knowing what to do, but how to process things and how to go about it. And I think it's such a natural instinct of us humans to not do what is right at times, even when we know what we ought to or what is right and wrong. Sometimes when we're put in certain situations or moral dilemmas or anything, like we want to choose what feels right or what feels good, or we don't want to deal with it, right? Sometimes when we find ourselves in situations that are hard, or we question, like, Lord, is this too much for me to handle? Not me, not now. We turn to some of the vices that make us feel good, right? Whether it be procrastination, whether it be even getting angry at people, which is easier, or even some of the harder vices such like drugs and alcohol. And not just taking, like, when we talk about alcohol, I'm not talking about like taking one glass of wine or something to just take off the edge or a buzz, but really people getting drunk or like gambling and things like that, to a point where it's a disorder. And we do that because it numbs pain, because it helps us deal with a situation or put off a situation. But the reality is we can't live life like that. We have to keep going. And again, we talk about how God doesn't intend for bad things to happen to us, and yet He allows things to happen if there will be a greater good. And so this is not just us that experienced this, but we look at Jesus Himself in His humanity had experienced this when He was experiencing the agony in the garden. He went to Christ, and He was praying. What did He do? He prayed. And I think that's a reflection for all of us, an example to all of us of what to do when we find ourselves in situations that are beyond our control, in situations that are very overwhelming, or we feel so isolated or so alone or so much pressure. I think the reflection today for me is a question of what do we turn to, or who do we turn to? And the answer should be God. We should turn to God. And again, recognizing this is easier said than done. And I think sometimes even the smartest of us, even the best theologian who knows all these things, right? When they themselves are put in a situation that is really testing and trying of them, what will they do? I don't know, because it is different for each and every one of us, the challenges that we find ourselves in and how we respond to it. But we should turn to God. We should turn to God. So in times of high stress, in times of agony and pain, I guess the question is, where do you go to? What are the things that you tend to go to? Recognize right now, are there certain vices that you recognize that you turn to more often than not? And if so, how can we correct that? And if so, ask yourself, do I turn to God in the time of need? Do I pray the rosary? Do I go to adoration? Do I seek the sacraments? Do I even just sit in silence asking God why or what, or to be with me, or these are the things. I'm still processing myself, because again, it's easy to know what we should do. It's completely different to process it and to live it out. And so in this time that I find myself in this Lenten season, it's not getting any easier, but that's okay, because all things great are worth enduring. And that message was also sent to me today. It came from Saint Catherine of Siena. And so that's my reflection for today, brothers and sisters. I'll see you tomorrow.